Hi guys, I'm going to do a reading on Byron Eric Page, who went missing from Los Angeles in 1992. He was born in 1974, September 16th, I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, so he was last seen at a bus stop at Overhill and Slauson streets in Los Angeles. On January 29th, 1992, he was planning to visit a music warehouse and video store 20 miles away in West Hollywood. He was a regular patron of that store, and he just never arrived home, and the employees of the store do not recall him entering during the business day of the store. That they didn't recall seeing him come in. And I think they would have, in all likelihood, being that he was a regular patron. It's saying that Byron didn't have any problems that I think his family would have known about at the time of his disappearance. And in fact, he seemed pretty happy because he was going to be getting his driver's license. And he was an excellent student with a perfect attendance record and been accepted at several colleges. So like his life was going to be moving forward. And it says here that foul play is suspected in his disappearance. He was on the video of Runaway Train by, if you'd all remember that, by Soul Asylum, blah, blah, blah. There was a video, and it still plays every so often. You can probably find it on YouTube. It's just a song and pictures of various people that were missing. All right. There's no information given other than, contacting missing persons if you have tips or anything like that. And I'd say if you do happen to see this and you do have a tip, please do call the Los Angeles PD with that. And I'm sure you can leave it anonymously if you desired. But let's just see here with the cards. What happened to Byron? Why didn't he make it? Why didn't Byron make it to the music store? Did Byron make it to the music store? Let's start with that. Did Byron? And he preferred to be called Eric, his middle name. So maybe I'll call him Eric for the sake of familiarity, that something that he liked. Okay. So did Eric Page, also first name Byron, did he not make it to the music shop? And if so, why not? What happened? Please show me that, Spirit. Show me, where did Byron go? What happened to Byron? All right. We're getting the Page of Wands with the Eight of Wands. So there is activity. And it does look like he's targeted to me with that Eight of Wands. Targeted by someone's actions. Somebody saw him and he appealed to them. We get the Ace of Wands and we get the Queen of Pentacles. This to me is his home and his mother especially, and his family. His mind was on them. Also, the Eight of Wands and the Page of Wands can be somebody potentially not only taking action in some manner, but it can be violence. It can be violence. It can be targeted for violence or something else, maybe, mugging or this kind of thing. That, just throwing it out there. And I do get him thinking what feels like a very domesticated, like mom energy, and the home, the family, and the harmony at home comes up in his mind. We do get the Moon. This is the mystery and the uncertainty of what may have happened to him. Is it possible he was placed into water and was dumped in water? Quite possibly. Because something was covered up. And we're getting the Ace of Swords here. Someone made a choice to try and cover something up. And it can also be that what was covered can become recovered or uncovered. But he is, I feel like his remains have been covered over by something. Water, soil, anything, but something that prevents you from seeing it straight away. It's there, but you're just not able to see it completely. And also, someone covered their tracks very, very thoughtfully. And somebody's very clever, knowing how to cover things up. Also, that darkness of the moon feels like a dark intent on their part toward him. Now, I don't know why they targeted him, but something must have appealed when they saw him. I'm getting the Five of Swords, and here we have a man that's holding his head and somebody else in the background that's throwing their arms up in the air, and there's blood here behind them. I feel like he was injured by someone. I definitely do. This is the third time in readings off camera that I've gotten this card and this kind of information of some kind of injury. And it could have been to the head or upper body. Even though this isn't the Nine of Wands, which usually indicates some kind of injury, just visually the card is giving me that information. And it's letting me know that this is like an assault, an attack with the Five of Swords. It's like somebody felt like they got away with something, with being able to put their hands on him. Eight of Pentacles. This would indicate somebody that has a great deal of skill at doing this. And it could also be that this, maybe they wanted to try, and maybe they thought he looked like he had money, and they thought, well, I'm going to be tricky and do something to get finances off of this person, or something of value. I also feel that it's family hiring maybe even a private detective to look into people that are potential suspects. They would have violence on their record. Feels like there could be like a private eye that family hired to look into it, and to look into people that have a reputation for assault or you know, violence toward others. Yeah, I just feel like this person was really clever, and they took advantage of his naivete. Okay, I've gotten this guy more than once with connection to his disappearance, which is a King of Cups with the Seven of Cups. So I get a strong feeling of an adult male that has a fondness for altering substances, whether it's alcohol or anything else. And usually, if they have an addictive personality, kind of an escapist hang up, then that often means that there's more than one thing that they use. But I do get somebody that's under the influence here. Okay. So I'm looking at substance with an adult male. So I think somebody got to talking to him. Three of Wands. This is foresight. And I got justice, but I got it reversed. Again, I feel like this person has been able to thwart justice from being able to carry out and figure out any kind of foresight of like who is a potential suspect, and what happened to him. So there hasn't been justice in this case. And I think it's also a way of saying this could still be solved in the future. It's just something that came to me. All right. I'm getting another adult male, a King of Pentacles that is very much a materialist type of personality. And we're getting them running toward a means of, I feel, mobility, movement, with the motorcycle in the background. And it's the king, not the king, I'm sorry, the Knight of Swords. So taking action, movement, a decision. I think there's a couple of men involved, adult men. And I think their movement is decided upon, and it's really quick. I almost feel like this individual may have physically looked to or get out of the car and engage him to leave with them. Maybe the offering of money or work, or hey, do you think you can help us out? We're looking for a volunteer. We'll pay you this amount of money to do this. It's kind of that kind of a feeling with judgment. Yeah, so I feel like a bribe was used to lure him, or an offer of reward or for service, for work, or along these lines. But I sense that this is a ploy. I sense that this is maybe a means for them to get some kind of benefit that they seek out of Byron, whatever that might be, robbery or whatever. I think they spotted him and marked him because he was out there and he was young. And they thought they could get away with it. And I think they pretty much did. But this shows that someone is, the person responsible was using the lure of finance or some kind of benefit materialistically. Okay. So I'm getting a couple of adult men. Oh, that's interesting. This reminds me of a traffic light, but these are mandalas that people are working on together. Okay, so I'm being shown again more than one person with the Three of Pentacles. And we were shown two men so far. Maybe there's another one, or maybe a few others, but it's a small group. And we get the Wheel of Fortune moves. Now, I don't know if this is karmically something that was fated to play out, but it's the kind of feeling I'm getting that there's a karmic connection to the three people, or give or take, that are involved. At least there are so far two adult males, older than him at the time. So I think that they were out looking either for somebody to shake down or to take advantage of in some other ways. The Two of Cups, again, we're getting two people, a nod to that, and the Hermit. So that's weird. You know, maybe it's feeling isolated from friends. feeling alone. But the Hermit can also be somebody that likes younger people, if you know what I mean. And that makes sense too here with this Two of Cups. This is getting close. You know, my cup in your cup. Somebody potentially that had an interest in younger people. I'm going to go with that because of the Two of Cups. There is kind of a relationship potential there. That may have been inappropriate. The Knight of Wands. And the Three of Swords. This is suffering and heartbreak, pain. And this is, to me, violence potentially with the Knight of Wands here. Is someone doing something that's a betrayal, someone taking an active role in betraying and causing harm and separation from Eric and his family, or Byron as he's known. So someone takes action that's an act of betrayal, of fooling him and keeping him, I think, from getting back to his family that he very much loved. I'm getting the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So again, is this substance? And substance being fuel for violence with the Ace of Wands, or a change of mood. It really makes me feel like somebody, again, is under the influence and has a short temper, a mood swing. They're fiery, they're intense. They don't take anything lightly. This feels very much like it's fueled by drug use, a substance of some kind, perhaps alcohol, as I said, and other things. The Lovers and the Empress. I feel like this person wants, it's a couple, and there's abundance that they're drawn to. The Empress. Or is this like a lover of his mother? Quite possibly. That I don't know anything about his family, if his mom was divorced or married or whatever. But there's a wife-mother energy here with the Empress card often. And the Lovers, you know, the Abundance card can be also about abundance of wealth. But I'm getting a couple again. So I'm getting maybe a male couple. Or somebody that may have been connected to maybe the mother of someone he knew, or I don't quite know how that fits. Okay. We get the Hanged Man and the Three of Cups. There's a delay in finding out what happened to him. And again, I'm getting that number 3. So again, I feel like there's more than one person involved in this. And to me, the Hanged Man is his disappearance and knowing what happened to him. It's in suspension. Though he is not suffering, of course his family is, because they don't know what happened to him. And I think someone delayed him, stalled him, got him away from being able to get to the store. I don't even think he made it to the store. Ace of Cups. And the Ten of Wands. You know, not good. overflow with the Ace of Cups. Again, I get a feeling of too much substance and emotional reactions that overflow, that nothing is, that a loss of being inhibited, so that you're less inhibited and you're more likely just to act out on impulse. And it's heavy with that 10 of Wands. It's oppressive energy where you're maybe forcing someone to do something they don't want to do, or something is made very, very difficult for you energetically. Could be, again, being drugged as well. And that making it really hard for you to leave or to carry forth, walking even. So I think he was drugged. And I really don't understand what the intentions really were by these persons that are responsible, but I sense that they're kind of screwy and underhanded. Okay, let's see. There's the 10 of Swords as well, and the 4 of Pentacles. So he may not have wanted to either give them money, give them attention. There's a sense of trying to hold on, of trying to keep control, but being overwhelmed. And I think mentally one is not able to, again, I think through being drugged, choose to move forward. There's, again, a heaviness, mentally and energetically. And I think it's because someone's wanting to control him and his movements and his ability to move. He's then more pliable. The Star and the 9 of Wands. So there might be hope yet in finding out what happened to him, but I believe I'm being shown some injury coming to him. And him trying to defend himself, but it's a very difficult energy to be up against. And the thing, too, is 1992 was a long time ago. People that are involved in, let's just say, the darker side of life don't tend to survive very long. So it's hard to say if, even if this, would these people still be alive. 2 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. I feel like there's the need to defend himself, but again, a sense of difficulty, but trying to defend himself, trying to, I think, get away from these people, to be honest, but not quite being able to do it. And I think it's because he may have been given substance of some kind. Getting the Queen of Cups and Strength. Now, this time I feel like this Queen of Cups and Strength may not necessarily be his mother, but maybe a part of himself that is intuitive and connecting to God, prayerful, and enduring something. This is fortitude. This is strength. This is minding one's self and one's reaction, so that is very thoughtful, and trying to endure and control, maybe influence or gain the trust of someone that's responsible for having him disappear. The 9 of Cups and the Page of Swords. Again, I just feel that with that Nine of Cups, I'm feeling that they may have been watching this case in the news. And the Nine of Cups could represent they're glad that there wasn't any advance made in knowing what happened to him. There's a watchfulness here. And the Nine of Cups is often the your wish comes true card. But I also get substance again. That these people that were around him or that had something to do with him going missing are involved in substance. Yeah, they feel like they got away with it. With the 10, I'm sorry, not the 10, but the 6 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. I also feel like he thought that they may have thought that his family was affluent. I don't know that they were, but I think that it could have been that he looked like he was better off. And maybe they were pressuring him to give him money or something here so they could get substance. I really don't know. I'm getting the 6 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles. Really, I do feel like he was trying to get away, trying to get help. But he was further out, I think, taken away further from where he was. He was out, taken further away from the initial point. He may not have known where he was. This may also be transition after a time of poor health. He could have been held. I think it's possible that he was held and then transitioned. Queen of Wands and the 4 of Swords. This is a woman who is trying to heal, who she's withdrawn and focused on healing. Her health may not be that good. Maybe this is a mother or a family relative. This woman would be very charismatic. She would have a lot of energy normally, but the energy is pulled away from her here in the 4 of Swords, and she's got to pull back, maybe due to health reasons, and focus on her health. It could also be a woman that potentially remains with this 4 of Swords, because sometimes the 4 of Swords can be about where a body is, where a body has been put or placed or dumped. So let's just keep an open mind there, because we did get the Star card. Oh, put that in the wrong pile. Okay. There's the Magician and the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody was definitely focused on money. That is good at pulling off the tricks. Good at making things appear as other than they are. And is manipulative. And maybe convincing being able to convince other people with their having a good skill of communicating, but misusing it. It feels manipulative here. And like this person's sole focus is on money and things of value. I have no idea what it was like where he caught the bus. I have no idea what that environment was like. I'll have to look it up and see if I can find anything out about it. But again, the 6 and the 7 of Pentacles here. Again, I feel like somebody may have appealed to him and asked him either to help and promised some kind of reward. That this was some kind of plan. I think also a plan to try to financially take advantage of someone, or just take advantage of their goodwill. Could have been somebody that he kind of knew that hit him up for money. I'm not sure. But it looks to me like this was some kind of a plan. This was somewhat planned out of catching him. Maybe they knew he had money on him. I just don't know. Because he was going to be going to this store. We get the High Priestess and the Sun. So there's some secret that is going to be revealed with regard to this case. Maybe in the future there's something that's going to come out. Something that was hidden shall be put in the bright sunlight. There will be clarity on something that was hidden with regard to his case. And it's the 8 of Cups walking away and the World. Whatever it was that caused him to leave. I think he left with someone. I think someone got him to leave. And that determined, I think, unfortunately for him, the end of his life cycle. I don't think he just walked away from his family. I don't think he chose to do that. But I do think someone caused him to be having to move on to the other side, if you will, by causing some kind of a completion of a cycle. Okay, 9 of Pentacles and the Fool. Again, I feel like somebody took advantage of him to try to get money. And they may have thought that he looked like he had money. And they may have been naive in assuming that he came from a better lifestyle. But maybe he did have a little more money than these people did. That's the feeling of like they're looking at him and judging him, thinking looks like he's got money. And that they're willing to take a risk in order to get their hands on it because they think he might have what to them might be a lot of money, potentially, because he looks like he comes from a comfortable background. And it looks also to me like this is him being young and naive and them counting on that. So that message comes through. Here's the last 2 cards, the 5 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. I think this is definitely regret in leaving. And it's interesting, there's a VW bus here and there's an atlas. And to me, this 2 of Wands is about movement and about potential opportunities that came up. And I just think somebody may have said, hey, you want to earn some money to do this, that, or the other. They trick him, and I think could have robbed him or something along those lines and just didn't care. You know, they're all about the money, and we're all about feeling good through an altered course of some kind. So that's what I'm getting. Let me know what you get. Throw cards if you are a reader, and feel free to share what you get and what your impressions are down in the commentary below. I'm going to leave it there because it's quite a long reading, but I really wanted to give Byron, or Eric, as he preferred to be known, some light, some love, because I don't think I've seen anyone cover his case. And maybe it's because he's a person of color. I don't know, but it's wrong, and I'm very sorry to see that more people haven't looked into his case. So there might be another reading coming for him later, because I feel like I could get clarity with a few more readings. So maybe this will be the first one that's on film film. It's not on film, but that is recorded for you guys. So bottom line, I'll sum it up. I think somebody interfered with his intention for reasons that are nefarious. Think that he appeared to them like someone that might have access to money. And it just looks like all they care about is money and substance. Not him, but somebody that's responsible for his disappearance. And I do often get injury, maybe about the head. And there's violence. So I do believe he was attacked in some way and may have passed as a result at some point. And I do think they took him. I do think that there was another vehicle involved, and they ended up moving him out further away from where they initially came in contact with him, around the bus stop area. So I'll leave it there, and I'm going to be really interested to see what some of you may have to share. All right. If you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. And thank you if you are a subscriber. If you haven't yet subscribed, please think about it and be willing to sub up and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much. Bye.